Welcome to People. I'm Shirley Lin. My guest today is Jiang Jingpo, or also known as Paul, and he is a conductor and founder of Moment Musical. I hope I'm saying it right.
That's fine.
Well, welcome, Paul.
It's my pleasure.
Yes. Now, you are a conductor.
Yes.
And a founder of a symphony orchestra, you would
Yes.
say? Yes. Okay. In Chinese, it's 乐兴之时, right? All right. Now, that's a very unusual name.
It is, I guess.
But it means just enjoying music in the moment. Yeah? Am I interpreting it right?
I would say it's more like moments that music really happens.
Ah, moments that music really happens.
By which I mean when the music coming from the performers are making an actual connection with the listeners, with the audience.
Of course, of course. No. Well, let's go way back. How did you get into music? Are you from a very musical family?
Not at all.
No.
My mother is a dentist.
Oh.
My dad was a painter. Yeah.
That's artistic.
Yeah, but neither
in a
of
different
them
way.
Is musical. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But according to my mom, I was first put on a piano bench.
Okay.
And I stayed for 1 minute.
And
then I was put on, well, a cello was given to me. Again, according to my mom, I stayed for 3 minutes.
Okay. How old were you then?
I was 4, I think.
Wow,
Yeah.
only 4. Okay.
4, yes.
And then?
And then finally, when I was given the violin, apparently I played on and on. So,
this is a very interesting story, very interesting. Your mom wanted you to get musical. I think there's
Yeah.
a dentist and there's the painter.
Yeah.
How about someone musical, right? Ah, that's so funny. Yes, so you start with the violin.
Yes.
At the age of 4?
4, yes.
Okay. How was that experience? Did you enjoy it every moment?
I don't recall any moments of disliking it, so I guess I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I learned the piano myself. And after 2 years, I absolutely hated it. And my mom would sit right beside me as I practice.
Yeah.
I'll be practicing and crying at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. But in total, I learned the piano for 11 years. But I guess that was good. Well, we can talk about that later.
Okay.
So then you learned the piano, I'm sorry, the
violin,
violin.
yes.
For how many years?
I don't know, because, let me see. When I was 5, I went to the States with my dad for 1 year.
Okay.
And I didn't continue learning the violin during that year. But then after that, when I was 6, when I came back to Taiwan, I started learning it again.
Okay.
And from that point on until when I finished my bachelor's degree at USC, this was continuous. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you still play the violin now?
Yes.
Oh, all right, all right. Yeah. So at what point you switched to conducting and why conducting?
Okay. Actually, that's a big question. Because I always liked the violin, and even nowadays, I still consider the string quartet to be the pinnacle of music making for me. Yeah. Because actually once I was talking to the concertmaster of Berlin Philharmonic, and I simply asked him, do you think it's possible for a symphony orchestra as great as Berlin Philharmonic to reach the level of perfection and refinement of a good string quartet?
Okay.
And he said, don't think about it.
Oh, why is that?
It's a little bit difficult to explain.
Okay,
but,
I suppose.
But I guess the easiest way to explain is that for a symphony orchestra simply has too many people,
Yeah.
too many ideas, and the sonority of the orchestra is more of that of the grandiose approach. Even when it plays pianissimo, the harmonic structure or the extension of the harmonies is not going to be as clean and as perfect as when 4 string instruments are playing together very well.
Oh.
So that said, I'm trying to tell you guys that for me, string quartet is still my favorite, or my favorite way of making music. But conducting is something that I got interested in very early on.
Yeah.
It was in my teens, actually.
Okay.
I was about 14, 15. And just suddenly one day I felt playing the violin was not enough for me.
Oh, okay. You have bigger dreams.
Yeah. It's not, saying that doesn't mean the violin is easy, or I consider it easy. It's, not at all.
I agree.
Yeah, it's a Mount Everest to conquer. Yeah.
I agree. My younger brother learned the violin, so yeah.
Yeah, it's just that I guess in my nature, or in my character, I long for something more complex, maybe. Something more interweaving. And
maybe because you like to be in control, maybe?
No.
No?
I knew I was going to say that.
You mean conducting is not taking control?
It is.
Okay.
It is, but it's just like like management. There are many ways of controlling and managing.
That is true.
Yeah, you can be a tyrant.
Yes.
You can be super easygoing, but still have things in control.
Okay.
And I think for me, it's not so much an issue of power or control or manipulation. It was simply a musical urge, to be able to make good music on that scale, on the scale of a symphony orchestra, of that repertoire. And it was later on that I gradually discovered that I think I'm meant to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More so than being a violinist.
I guess if I understand you correctly, I know that there are some people, let's say they're watching a choir or they're watching, a concert, and the conductor's up there conducting.
Yeah.
And you see some people in the audience or standing on the side, kind of moving along and just enjoying the moment of conducting, following the same motions as the conductor himself and all that. So those people, excuse me, those people are made for conducting then?
I think those are, that's a different aspect. I think that's more like, that's more of a dancing aspect of a person. Yeah?
Yes.
There are people who when they listen to music and their body feels it right away in a very direct way, and they start to move, and their body want to do something.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's more of a dancing nature.
Yeah, because I've seen some conductors have a lot of gestures.
Yes, but there are also great conductors who doesn't move at all.
Right. Yes, that is true. Which kind are you? In the middle.
I'm just me.
Okay.
No, I think that's important because my mentor, his name is Daniel Lewis. He's probably about 90 now. No, he's 87 now. Actually, I was his last student at USC.
Okay.
And he really stressed this idea that a conductor should never plan his gestures. Everything has to come from inside, spontaneously, what you feel about this music, yeah, you do it. But you don't plan anything.
Okay.
You don't plan this gesture because it looks good or beautiful or magnificent or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I actually asked my colleague, Huang Shihan, because she interviewed you before. And I said, is it all right for me to play a part of your music in there? Because people don't, how should I say it? Don't see your conducting, or, I mean, they just hear the music. But she said, no, it's quite all right because every conductor has different interpretation of the music and just the way how you bring out the music, the same piece of music.
Of course.
And I said, wow, okay, I never thought it that way, but I see the conductors are very much into like, how do I put it? I mean, let's say a total masterpiece, okay? Maybe it's Mozart or Chopin or whatever, whoever. And everybody knows that music so well off from the head or from the heart. But when you're up there conducting the same piece that everybody knows, I'm sure you feel the difference in there because it's you bringing out that music in a different way, maybe subtle ways, right?
Sometimes subtle, sometimes big.
Really? Yeah. And you don't think that would be disrespectful to the original composer?
No, just think the other way around. If you were a conductor and you're doing the Beethoven Fifth Symphony, the 217 times,
yes,
and you do it pretty much the same every single time, indifferent from, how Karajan did it, or how Carl Böhm did it, or even how Carlos Kleiber did it. What's interesting about it for yourself?
Okay.
I mean, that'll be quite a boring life. And I think for a conductor, the most interesting thing and the most rewarding thing is to communicate. Communicate with the soul of this composer through the score.
Okay.
So when I read a score, particularly from a composer that I feel close to,
yes,
it's like I'm reading
a story.
Not just a story, but his inner voices, his longings, his dissatisfactions, his dreams, his whispers, his soul.
Wow. Okay.
And that's tremendously rewarding.
Now, let's say you said Beethoven Symphony 5, and you perform it 10 times. Is it different every time?
Of course. Yeah.
Really?
And I think that would be quite an important difference between a responsible conductor and not so responsible conductor.
Okay.
Because I think a responsible conductor would reread, will read again, or start again from scratch.
Okay.
The next time he does the same piece. Especially when you're facing a masterpiece. That's absolutely necessary. You have to erase everything and start from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably a little bit like when you are tasting cuisine.
Okay.
You can tell the difference whether the chef puts his heart into it,
Really?
into the cuisine, into the dishes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference if there's love in it, or there's not, and just routine preparation of that dish.
Right. Well, it's all very surreal, kind of.
It's not.
But I think I know what you mean, though. When the chef puts their heart into it, just like when you put heart into the music that you're performing, you're getting everybody to, perform it the way you want them to. That takes work, and it takes heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is incredible. Well, we're going to go and talk more about Momo Musiku, how you started it, and also about the music scene in Taiwan. But let's take a break now.